All right, governors. I'm going to fix my light in just a second. We are under attack. We are under attack, and I wanted to stream right away. It's kind of late at night. Let me go fix my lighting. I wanted to get it on camera right away because there was a ton of action. It looks like our allies are in some trouble over here. I have sent some troops over immediately to go reinforce this critical point. Let me fix my lighting while they walk over there, and then we're going to try to figure out what the heck is going on and see if we can't lend our hand to our allies. Whew! All right, hold on. Be right back. All right. We are back. We are back. I still have that weird glow. Hold on, hold on. We're going to fix it. All right. We are back and we are checking out the action here. Let's see if we can figure out what is going on. So, if we zoom out a bunch, there's a bunch of drama that I probably need to walk through here. We have flags right next to our allies' flags, and that is the guild's strength and honor. I should say alliance strength and honor. And recently, they got into a little bout with another alliance, and uh, they were a mutual ally of ours before that point. So I don't know why they sort of picked that fight, or I don't know exactly what happened. We didn't go support them because, like, we're allies with both of them, so we're not getting involved, is my understanding. And so now they're attacking us. That seems like not the best play, and that probably was not the most amazing summary. I apologize for that. In part, I'm trying to figure out what's going on as well. So it looks like they're now assaulting our alliance members' towns, and we have ported up to protect our flag. I probably should have ported up right away rather than sending troops. I just saw the attack, and my immediate reaction was send troops. And so I don't know what they're trying to accomplish here other than making more enemies. Like, my perfect world, we'd all be friends. There'd be no war, but whatever. So we're going to go reinforce this point, and it looks like there's a couple people that are at the head of this assault. Martyr Byron Bujan, who is one of their whales at 15 million power. Holy smokes. All right, well, we're going to put troops in to defend. Chef NZ and King Influence. All right, well, they want a tango, and we're going to see what we can do. And one of my alliance members who really enjoy and has a very, very positive attitude is Home Guard over here. And I'm glad to see that he is nearby. I feel very confident when he is in that area protecting the flag. Also, Grizzly Bear, and looks like McMay's wall was, or Macy May's wall was burning, but she is good now. Let's do this. I'm going to pull up chat while I am waiting to get over to this combat, and let's see if anyone has joined us on our live stream. This was not something I was expecting to do, but, like, was I expecting war late at night? No. We're friends with everybody. Why are we why war? Why? It's not that's not good for anybody. All right, it's looking like the action has died down a little bit, but they are sending scouts left, right, and center. Our troops are arriving to reinforce this point, which has a ton of troops in here, sitting at almost 1,000,000 troops. Feeling really, really good about that. Let's see if we can't harass a little bit here and lend some support to our allies. Okay, and as I mentioned, I am going to go to my channel and get up the chat for the live stream. Probably should have spent a little bit longer getting set up, but I was so eager to just start streaming the action. Let's see here. Okay. So we are arriving This is interesting. Don't hit cities. We have a note, don't hit cities. But apparently we are just defending this point. I can follow those instructions. It's interesting. I wonder if some of my Alliance members are in chat on Discord. For those of you that don't know, Discord is a phenomenal chatting service, and it also has voice. It doesn't look like we've got folks in voice. In my perfect world, anytime we go to war, we would be in voice chat together so that we could coordinate very, very cleanly. Looks like most of that coordination is happening in chat, and I sort of have my uh, face blocking that so that I don't reveal anything, I guess, secret to a potential enemy. Anyways, okay. So you can see here we've got the blue halo around our screen, which means someone else is either reinforcing one of our cities or one of our units' positions. And I'm just going to assume that that reinforcement's coming to our flag. So if you're tired of that blue glow, you can just hit ignore, and it'll make that go away. All right, so it looks like, by the way, I don't know if you've seen these before, but these carriages carry resources back and forth. So I'm a little confused as to why they would be sending resources back and forth. You lose some number of resources on every transaction as a tax. So if you're doing that, I mean, it's expensive. You can do it, but it's expensive. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Let's get, I keep saying I'm going to get the chat open. We're live now. Hey, we have 9 people watching. I didn't even change the thumbnail for the video. It's like completely irrelevant. All right. Let's get a new thumbnail going here to reflect what is actually happening. For those of you just joining, we're at war. We have been attacked by our allies, it looks like. And I'm not a guild officer. I'm not one of the leaders of my alliance, but I'm just observing what is happening and stepping in to help as best I can. Because, like, look, like we were friends. Why? What's the value of this? All right. Ooh, so they're scouting us. So they're going to see what we have. This is going to heat up real fast. Hi, can you show kingdom kills, please? Yeah, sure, I can do that while we're waiting. Let's see here. Rankings and I guess individual kills. Is that what we're looking at? I don't do a whole lot of warring, as you can see here. I've barely killed anybody. Because that's like why. We all lose resources when we're at war. This is Kingdom 51. 51. And let me tell you, there was a lot of drama that I am going to walk us through momentarily that led to this point that our allies are now attacking us. Not cool. Have I mentioned that I don't think that's okay? Hey, CJ22, welcome. Chris McCarthy, I'm going to City Hall 15, almost 1 million power. Congratulations. That's a pretty awesome milestone. All right, we should get a thumbnail going that is at all war related, right? So I'm just going to take a picture here and I'm going to make a thumbnail for this video so I more cleanly advertise what the heck is happening. Because let's see here. Can I edit the title real quick? Can I do that like while I'm streaming? Looks like I can. Let's see. All right. No. Oh yeah, there it is. All right. Live stream. What should we call this video? Under attack? How about that one? Under attack, war, exclamation point. That seems good. We're under attack, exclamation point. That is going to be the description for this one. That seems pretty applicable. Yeah, we'll save those changes. This is hilarious. Why not? All right, let's go back to being able to see the chat. Okay. Okay. Yeah, war is expensive, says WG. I have 17 million kills. I spent so much on resources and speed ups. It's so expensive. It's unbelievably expensive. Um, you should really only go to war if there is no other choice. So let me walk you through a little bit what I. Wait a minute. What's this guy doing? Okay. Where are they coming from? No, okay, so he says don't hit cities, but this guy that we're not supposed to hit just reinforced cities that we might hit, or maybe we're not hitting any cities and we're just reinforcing it. I don't know. I gotta see what my guild members want, what my alliance members want us to be doing here. I kind of want to open up the chat, but at the same time, if our former friends are watching, I don't want them to see everything that's happening in alliance chat. So I'm gonna play blind to what my alliance chat is indicating. So let me say this before I get to like the politics of what the heck is going on here, because it it's awfully confusing. Oh yeah, I see why you're asking if LGZ is allies because they're like right in front of our flag. It's LDZ, sorry. LDZ, I believe, are our allies. Yes, they are. Let me explain what the heck's going on here. Okay, friends. So if we zoom way out, way out, the Kingdom Alpha is this group over here, LN and it's Legion. That's their name, Legion. And Legion has a dominant position on the bottom portion of the map here, and they own 1, 2, 3 of these crucial shrines, which have incredible buffs. And they have far and away the most power of any alliance in our kingdom. Like not even close. And at some point, our alliance guild, Strength and Honor, got into a conflict with them in Kingdom Chat. And let me just say, there is not a lot of reason to be engaging in Kingdom Chat unless you want to run the risk of getting into an argument with someone and it turning into a war. That has been my observation. So they got into an argument and they got into a fight with each other. And those two alliances started battling. And this is my best understanding. It's hard to keep track of everything unless you're like watching 24/7. So Legion, who's all the way over there, and Strength and Honor, they started battling. And that was back when we were in just these like first areas, I think. Right? Like the within the level 1 pass area. So they got into a conflict, and then Legion decided that they are not going to let Strength and Honor get their level 3 pass. So Strength and Honor was positioned all the way up to this level 3 pass with flags. And Legion essentially, if I understand correctly, created a new alliance called LDZ, and they ported over and destroyed all of their flags. And last I looked, they were destroying the center fortress over here. Yeah, it's still burning. And now my understanding is that Strength and Honor is retaliating against us because they feel like we should have helped them with this fight that, like, I think was avoidable, but I don't have the details. So I think LDZ is supporting us because we're allies with them as well. So let's just show you. Let me show you what it says for our alliance here. Because we list our alliance members and alliance allies. Maybe it's down over here. We don't show it anymore. Well, this is interesting. We used to have at the very top of our alliance description prominently displayed who our allies were. That included Strength and Honor and I don't see it here anymore. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Um, but it looks like the combat has calmed way down, and they're teleporting out. Okay. Situation looks like maybe it's getting more under control. There, I remember at the start of the stream, there was someone with 15 million power to the left of this person in SNH, and they poured it out. The other person over here, they poured it out. So I think they harassed us. They tried to get a jump maybe on our flag, failed, and are on their way out. And it's important to mention that you can only assault someone else's flag if you have a flag that's adjacent to it. You have to have something next to it in order to assault. So we had sort of built up in this direction. I don't know why. I'm not going to get into why we're putting flags where. I don't keep track of that. But we were here, and it happened to be next to them, so I guess that's where they decided to assault. Maybe they're going to come at us in other locations, but it looks like we've got some folks positioning around some of their cities. Oh, they're porting out. They're saying, see you later. You know what doesn't make sense to me? You know what doesn't make sense to me? After picking a fight with the unequivocal alpha from the kingdom, then picking a fight with somebody else. Like, why would you do that? And even if they didn't pick the fight with the alpha, they're obviously still under conflict, right? Like their center fortress is burning. So like why go start something somewhere else? Like what are you going to gain from that? You're going to like hurt our resources the tiniest amount? Like what's the value? So anyways, it looks like now some of our alliance members have decided that their flags are going to burn. And like this is exactly the kind of situation that was avoidable, and I'm pretty sure that like no one wanted. Yep, there it is. So now their flag's burning. The lesson to be learned here is perhaps not to compound the error and make things worse than they were. So let's take a look at the alliances in our kingdom, and maybe that helps give a better picture of everything that's going on here. Let me make sure I go to the right place. Rankings, alliance power. Okay, so LDZ is the alliance that was created for Legion to be able to teleport into this area and harass Strength and Honor. And Legion is their primary alliance name, and that's where they usually are hanging out. Now, if I show you some of the members over here, some of their powerhouse players include Pay to Win at, that's right, friends, 50 million power. How do you do that? Well, I mean, you pay to win. But and then there's Childlike Heart, and I don't want to pronounce his name incorrectly, Fleisch and Zodi. So they've got a lot of really, really powerful players in their alliance. And like, look, when you combine this LDZ and the Legion, that's what they normally are. Like, that's normally all of them just in Legion. So we're talking about an alliance that normally has over 400 million power, whereas the next highest had, well, wait a minute, we're in second now, so we used to be in third. This happened in the last, like, couple hours. Menengu is asking in chat, apologies that I did not pronounce your name correctly. Yeah, this is very recent. Like, this is just happening. That pay to win guy. Yes, Clashing Duke. That is insane. That is so insane. 50 million. What do you get with 50 million power? Like, do you just have insane amounts of troops? Is all of his stuff maxed? The Lost Temple has not been conquered yet in our kingdom. We are just getting to the point where we can enter into the level 3 pass area. So if I zoom way out, we are positioned to enter the area where the Lost Temple is. And that happens, by the way, in like the next mm, 4 hours and 30 minutes. So I might be up a whole heck of a lot later than I was expecting to be. um, Look, if I zoom way out and we take a big step back, I don't know who our alliance mates currently are, but if we look here, we were in an alliance with SP, Strength and Honor, and then here's us. So our alliance was positioned to take all three of the left entrances into the area where the Lost Temple is. And because of this argument that Strength and Honor got into with Legion, and I don't know who started it, I don't know how it happened, but it happened. Legion said, like, look, we're not letting you enter this area. We're not letting you enter the Promised Land. And why do I call it the Promised Land? Let me show you resource density, right? Like, this is where you cue the song, like, hallelujah, right? Like, look, that is insane resource density in this area. So this is where you want to be placed with your city, because holy moly, can you farm insane amounts of resources. And if we look at the level of these nodes, I mean, they're all literally level 5 plus nodes here, which seems really, really good. You have to pay a whole heck of a lot less attention to get the same amount of resources. So anyways, Legion poured it in over here, and they started burning down the flags of Strength and Honor, and so now we have this situation over here. And I should see kind of what my alliance mates are doing. It looks like they are surrounding the flag here, and it makes sense. Like, they're probably going to burn one or more of these flags that Strength and Honor put into place. Right now, I'm currently defending our alliance flag over here, but I think that's no longer necessary. I think I can push up with these guys, and so I'm actually just going to position myself a little bit further up. And I don't want to send a new group. This is actually this is actually a really interesting tactic, which is, if you want to go somewhere, if I attack this flag, right? If I attack this flag over here even, they're going to get an alert that I'm doing it. But if instead I go over to this logging camp and I send my troops there and I send my troops here, they get no alerts, and I can be positioned closer to action. And if they send any troops down this way, I can jump them, right? And like, look, if they're paying attention at all, they'll see that I'm coming, right? So not a big deal. Okay, let's get a look here. Yes, those Clashing Duke, those resources are amazing. Thanks for joining the stream, by the way. I enjoy watching the videos on your YouTube channel. Um, Lava Tong YT asking, what kingdom are we in? We are in Kingdom 51 right now. And let me actually, the best way to show that is to zoom out and show the kingdom list. So we're in Kingdom 51. And if I go into that, this is a 40-day-old kingdom. We are on the verge of our level 3 pass opening to enter into the area with the Lost Temple. Okay. So we go back into the action. We are now in position. And if anybody comes down, we can jump them. And we've got 2 units rolling right now. Let's expand this to show you what we're working with. So I was caught completely flat-footed here. I was caught completely flat-footed because I'm planning to spend like an unbelievable amount of experience tomes and probably use all of my legendary commander sculptures. So, like, these armies that I have are way weaker than what I could have. So, I made a video about like the 8 most common mistakes, one of them being that you don't power up like 1 or 2 commanders a whole heck of a lot, and I'm doing it right now. It's terrible. But anyways, the 2 groups that I've got are Kusunoki with Tomo, and that is because they both focus on archers, and I'm using Minamoto with Joan of Arc. And that was like a panic move that I made because I can't actually field a full cavalry unit yet, even though I really, really want to. And so I just put them together because, look, Joan of Arc is going to buff everybody nearby, including all the rest of my allies. So she seems like an awesome person to have at the party, assuming someone else didn't already do that. So you can see here my alliance members have completely surrounded, or at least are are camping entirely, both the flag and this player chef. And I just want to go back to the alliance rankings really quick and point out that Strength and Honor currently has 205 million power. I don't know what happened over the last 8 hours, but they were at 280 million power. So, hopefully that's not all troop deaths on their part. Let's go look here. So they're at 60 out of 81 members. So if you ever see an alliance that looks like that, you know what that means. Everybody's leaving. Everybody's leaving. And you can see here they list us as a family alliance, and they're attacking us right now, by the way. I'm just going to point out, like, what? Why, guys? Nobody wins in war. Okay. Do you know what the Kingdom versus Kingdom is? I don't know anything about Kingdom versus Kingdom. I don't think it exists yet. I hope it will exist in the future. I don't know that's the thing that the developers have ever actually talked about, but I know players are really interested in it, myself included. Um, because I don't know what happens after we capture the temple, right? Like we'll enter some amount of equilibrium where the alpha is established, the people who support them and are their allies are established, and everybody else is bullied out. So I don't know what happens after that point. Okay. Is it so Clashing Zone is asking, is it so that after a particular time all the fog gets automatically cleared out? Check out the monument. Woody has answered it. Yes, it does. That's interesting. I did not know that was the case. I scouted like crazy early on, and so all of the fog is clear for me. Oh man, the highlight of my Friday night was grabbing a level 5 cropland. Nice, Clashing Duke. Yeah, feels pretty good when that happens. So if we just talk about resource gathering for a second, I zoom way out. Uh, this resource view in the upper left is crucial. And you want to position yourself near really dense resources so that you have the opportunity to get level 5 and level 6 nodes. And here's the thing. There's not actually anything different about the nature of the resources that you get from a level 5, level 6, level 2, level 3, level 4. There's just more of them there. So you have to pay less attention when you're gathering. And I guess you spend less time like walking back and forth from one node to another. So one of the things I like to do, and I'm going to make a video about resource gathering, is before I go to bed, I try to find a level 6 node. And like it doesn't matter if it's kind of far away because like I'm going to sleep. So it can take a long time to walk there. As long as like someone else doesn't get there first, right? It can take a long time to walk back. Don't care. I'd rather just have the extra resources. Assuming nobody's going to attack me on the way, right? Oh, man. All right. Let's see what's happening in chat here. Hi, Chiskel. When you take the Lost Temple, nothing happens. Oh. Okay. Well, here's what I think. I mean, this game is relatively young, right? Oh, by the way, speaking of gathering, I gotta get my gathering going here. I could have 2 more commanders going. I'm not doing it right if I don't have gathering going at all times. And by the way, like since everybody's kind of up there warring, look at all these goodies that are lying around. I'll just pick these up. Yoink. Um, yeah, from watching other YouTubers' videos, I do get the impression that after the Lost Kingdom is taken, the entire kingdom enters into some amount of a peace state. Oh wow, yeah. So, Sebastian, you're from Kingdom 13, and you got it. Very impressive. Yeah, I mean, I have to think that they're going to add a lot of end game content, but the game is just still so young that for many players, they are probably months away from getting that point. That's cool that you got in on Kingdom 13. I'd be pretty eager to hear how you learned about the game to get in so early. So another comment here, one thing to do if you're trying to jump into a new world and get a lot of power, if you join a world such as 10 has no fog, you can claim all of the villages and get a big head start. That's kind of interesting. I haven't thought about that before. But that makes a ton of sense. So the strategy would be to use one of your 2 beginners teleports to go to one of those early kingdoms. Hopefully nobody attacks you because it's like everybody's in like a kumbaya state anyways. You run out, you collect all of the, and I'll zoom out so you can see what I'm talking about. You get literally all of these exploration points. So you get all of the little villages that have stuff. You get all of the caves. That's a cool idea. That is a really cool idea. All right, I think my alliance has this combat very under control. Let's see. I gotta get my view back to alliance view, and we'll zoom in to these guys. I think they really have this under control. And like the good and bad news is that, oh hey, wait a minute. Like why? What does he think he's doing here? I mean, okay. Let's attack him then, I guess. He's got 1 unit with Lohar? Like what? Like why would you do that? This game is fascinating because people make really interesting choices, and I often do not understand those choices. Okay. So I think this combat is in a pretty static state right now. Um, I don't think they're going to try anything else. I feel like we should actually get a look around here. So let's just get a look here. So their center fort is still burning. And the group that set it afire doesn't even feel like they need to guard it, which means to me they're feeling pretty confident about their position. And like, look, if we get a look at some of the folks that poured it over, right, they're all level 21 plus, pretty much. City Hall level 21 plus. I mean, that is a pretty intimidating bunch to have on your doorstep. And what I'll call out about their formation here, I don't know if this was intentional or if they just didn't have a lot of space to pour it in, but the value of being so tightly woven together is that you can theoretically jump from city to city by reinforcing them. And by doing that, you're like not exposed for quite as long, and you can creep your way up to wherever it is you want to attack without being noticed. And then when you go to attack it, it's like a 30-second walk or a 20-second walk instead of like, we see you coming from 5 minutes away. Not that with 5 minutes you have a lot of opportunity to do anything. I mean, you're kind of donezo. If your alliance mates are not online to do something about it, you're kind of donezo. All right. So, update from Sebastian. We got the Lost Temple 2 weeks ago. Top 1, 2, and 3 are family and K13. So we attack together with great coordination. I mean, that's how it should be. Clashing Zone. After the temple has been conquered, can anyone attack it and snatch it? Yes, after 1 week. That's good to know. That is good to know. It's my understanding that when you take that Lost Temple, you get a whole bunch of buffs that you get to give to people and debuffs. And I think they're to anyone in the kingdom. I don't want to give incorrect information. Something worth talking about, by the way, the Halloween event is going on, and I'm sure many of you noticed this War of the Dead component to the Halloween event, which involves city collection, alliance help, and defeating enemies. So a lot of folks have been warring because, yeah, they want to go battle against other people, and now you get bonuses for doing it. But the city collection is important. I have 4 of these buffs going for production of goods in the city: food, wood, stone, and gold, because I figure I can pick up some extra stuff. Pardon me. Oh my gosh. So I've got that going so I can pick up the extra goodies. In fact, while we're here, I've been saving a couple things to open up. I've got 140 of these Halloween candy boxes, and I have not gotten a single one of the City Hall skins. So let's open these things up. I don't know. Let's go 20 at a time and see if we get any of those. All I have ever gotten from these boxes is Halloween candy. If you got something different, I'd love to see that in the chat. This, I mean, not that I'm complaining about Halloween candy. Well, one more try. Okay, all I've seen is Halloween candy. Um, yes, we have not opened up the level 3 pass yet. Fair question. So for those of you just joining, it looks like we've been attacked by one of our former alliance members. I don't know what the status is politically. There is a lot of politics to keep track of here. We were under attack. Our flag was in trouble. A bunch of our alliance members ported up to this area, and there were a whole bunch of people from Strength and Honor here attacking, and there was a huge melee like in the field. And by the way, it's a weird sensation when you open up the game and you like see a screen full of troops everywhere, and it's like, okay, there is something going on, and I have missed a lot of action. We pushed them back, and they retreated. They poured it away. They are gone. So now we're just kind of camping out here, and I'm gonna send my troops. Someone else took the resource node I was in. It is not only a nice place to hang out, but I also get to farm resources while we're waiting for action, which seems like a good play. Something that I think is sort of fascinating about this game is that in a lot of ways it's actually kind of more like space combat than medieval combat, right? So here's the metaphor. Okay, here's the metaphor. You've got, like, if you ever watch Battlestar Galactica, right? You have like a carrier that's got a bunch of ships on it, and you port in, right? You like jump into hyperspace in some part of the map, and then you send out a bunch of groups of fighters, right? So what just happened over here is they like ported in next to us, sent out a bunch of their fighters. We ported in next to them, sent in a bunch of our fighters, battled a bunch, and looks like we're winning that exchange. And I honestly don't know how hard we're going to push them. I don't know how many of their flags we're going to take, or if we're just going to play nice. I hope we play nice. Like, there's no reason to be vindictive here. So, Hemet is saying you only get Halloween candy. That's interesting. And then Woody Woo is saying, actually, he got a 7-day skin from the Halloween candy box. Yes. What? Seriously? I've not gotten anything like that. Ruben bought the permanent skin. Yeah, it does look awesome. And I have a bunch of candies. I'm planning to get that permanent skin for the City Hall. I just haven't picked it up yet. I'm waiting till kind of the end of the event to see what happens and if anything else comes out that will be worth getting. Ah, yes, and someone else in chat got the 3-day skin from the boxes as well. Cool. So, while we're here, and it looks like this is kind of winding down, right? I'm not going to make you all watch while we burn this flag for, I don't even know how long this is going to take, another 30 minutes, and then we take the next one. Do you all have any questions about Rise of Civilizations, the commanders, the strategies, anything at all? Happy to field those. If not, I will probably head out, and I very much have appreciated you all joining on a Friday night. What will we be getting from those chests of the Halloween event? Pranav, that is a very interesting question, and I hope I pronounced your name correctly. So if I go to the Halloween event, and I go to this chest, we don't have a whole lot of information about what's in it, other than the fact that it says many Halloween candies. So that could be a bunch of different things. I think it includes these candies. I don't think it includes the jack-o'-lanterns, but technically sugar skulls qualify as candy, right? So my hope is that there's a bunch of sugar skulls in there, and that's why I haven't spent any of mine yet. Assuming there are none in there, I'll probably pick up this permanent skin and then use the other two, I guess, on stars, the dazzling starlight sculptures. And I will say this little impromptu war here really lights a fire under me to actually invest all my experience tomes and my Starlight sculptures because, I mean, my commanders are real wimps compared to what they will be after I invest. How many tier 4 units do I have? That's a fair question. I got tier 4 troops only recently. I've been working on Samurai, that was the second one that I picked up, and Cavalry, that was the first one that I picked up. I don't have enough cavalry to field a full unit yet. And by the way, something I'm super excited about, I'll probably make another video about this another time, is that I got Charles Martel. So I had a stream yesterday where I opened like 17 gold keys, and I think the only legendaries I picked up was like a full El Cid. So it was like 10 sculptures of El Cid, which is cool, but I don't plan to use him. And literally the very next gold key was 3 sculptures of Charles Martel. So I'm now a little torn. My direction was really clear before. It was like, look, invest in Minamoto, invest in Cao Cao, and make a sick cavalry unit. But now that I have Martel, and Martel is the counter to cavalry units, I mean, I don't know. He's kind of interesting. His first skill is what makes him so powerful. He gives a shield that prevents a huge amount of damage. So it says direct damage factor here, but this isn't a damaging skill, right? So if you're not reading carefully, that would be a little confusing. But he activates a shield that absorbs a massive amount of damage. Now, what I do think is interesting, and maybe someone in the chat has the answer to this, he has a damage factor. So does that mean his shield gets stronger from the nuker talents? Does that mean his shield gets stronger from the nuker talents? So if we look at my Minamoto talents, and they're a little embarrassing, but whatever. Does that mean that this superior tactician makes the shield on Martel stronger? I think it does. Skill damage versus damage factor? I don't know. That is an interesting question. All right. Can you tell me who will be a better secondary commander for Minamoto? So I'll say it depends. Minamoto, when we talk about what we're doing with Minamoto, there's a couple options. One is that you have got his first skill, and you're using him just as a nuker. And if you're using him as a nuker primarily, it doesn't really matter that he's got these cavalry skills, because you're only going to have 10% cavalry attack and 3% speed, which is like not a ton. So if you're using him as a nuker, there's a whole bunch of nuker commanders you could pair him with. If you're using him for cavalry, I actually would use him probably as the secondary commander, unless you're going to have, pardon me, both Minamoto and Cao Cao, which is probably it is the most powerful cavalry combination. But if you use Minamoto as a secondary commander, that means that you could have either Lancelot, or you could have Dragon Lancer as the primary commander. And you can level them up a whole heck of a lot more than you could level up a legendary. A advanced commander takes half as much experience as a legendary commander. And I mention that because that means you could have twice as many talent points unlocked. No, that math is completely incorrect. You can have more talent points unlocked on your advanced commander than your legendary. That's way more accurate. Yeah, so Hemet is indicating that Legend Ronnie has some really good videos about full infantry units, and I agree. I enjoy Legend Ronnie's videos. I would love to do a collab with him at some time if he'd be interested. I haven't contacted him about that yet, but I really would like to do that. Actually, with a number of the YouTubers that are creating videos, we should all be partying up. It sounds fun. I'm a new officer of a powerful alliance in my kingdom. Do you have any tips? Oh man, Frosty Ice, what a great question. What are my tips for someone who's running an alliance? I actually am planning to do a series of interviews with alliance leaders, and I hope to get those going sooner than later. But a couple things. The first is to set clear rules and make sure everybody knows them by putting them into the description of your alliance. The second is to enforce the rules so that people don't start bickering with each other about who is or isn't following them. Make them clear and then enforce them. And one of those rules ought to be diminished participation or no participation in Kingdom chat. Like that almost always leads to trouble. And one of my favorite expressions is to never argue with an idiot, because to an outsider, it's impossible to tell who the idiot is. And that's the problem with Kingdom chat, right? You get people who like, look, I wish it was a peaceful place and people were all, saying nice things to each other. But, someone starts a fight with somebody else, and then to someone who's who wasn't watching Kingdom chat and they just look at what's happened, they have no clue, like, who is actually being weird. Anyways, okay. Woody Woo, good call out that Pelagius is also really, really good for cavalry. Yes, sir, he is. Okay. Okay, my friends. I think I'm going to head out. I have really enjoyed streaming with you on this impromptu, unexpected, holy cow, we're under attack stream. Um, More videos to come on a daily basis from my channel. I've got probably a channel update video coming tomorrow or the day after. Going to talk about how I was selected to be a part of the Rise of Civilizations community program, which I am super, super pumped about. And otherwise, very, very appreciative of the huge amount of activity in chat this evening. If you've got any questions, please do leave a comment. And as a new content creator, it means a whole heck of a lot to me when you like, share, and subscribe and participate in these live streams. So thank you so much for that. And my friends, otherwise, until next time, have fun smashing the kingdom.